Brussels hosted an emergency European Union summit to address rising security concerns amid growing tensions with Russia and the shifting stance of the United States on military support for Ukraine. European leaders agreed to increase defense expenditures, focusing on rearmament and security initiatives. The summit highlighted the urgency of reinforcing Europe's military capabilities as uncertainty looms over Washington's commitment to Ukraine. The meeting also sought solutions to finance defense projects, with discussions on new budget allocations and potential funding sources. EU officials emphasized the need for a unified defense strategy to counter external threats and strengthen European security independence. The European Union announced new defense measures aimed at supporting Ukraine through collaborative military operations. Leaders proposed expanding surveillance and patrol missions under a unified EU military framework, ensuring a more direct role in European security. This shift comes after the United States' decision to halt additional military aid to Ukraine, raising concerns about Kiev's capacity to withstand Russian advances. European officials stressed the importance of showing resilience and solidarity, positioning the European Union as a key player in ensuring regional stability. Despite internal debates, the initiative received broad backing as part of a broader European defense strategy. The European Union is revisiting the Sky Shield Defence Initiative, originally proposed in 2022 but never fully implemented. The plan involves deploying a fleet of 120 European fighter jets to safeguard Ukrainian airspace, preventing further Russian aerial attacks without direct military confrontation. European officials argue that Sky Shield will enhance regional security, but Moscow has issued stern warnings stating that any foreign military presence in Ukraine would be considered an act of NATO aggression. As diplomatic tensions rise, EU leaders emphasize that the initiative remains purely defensive, aimed at protecting Ukrainian sovereignty without escalating the conflict further. The European Union's 27 leaders have endorsed a comprehensive defense plan spearheaded by EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. The strategy prioritizes strengthening Europe's military infrastructure to counter potential Russian aggression. A key component of the plan is the relaxation of EU debt rules to unlock up to €800 billion for defence investments. The initiative, however, faces opposition from Hungary, which criticises the proposal as a means to prolong the conflict rather than seek diplomatic resolutions. Despite Hungary's objections, the majority of EU members back the initiative, citing the urgent need for military preparedness. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made a surprise appearance at the EU summit, thanking European leaders for their unwavering support. The visit comes at a crucial time following Washington's decision to block further military aid to Kyiv. Zelensky urged European nations to maintain their commitment to Ukraine's defense, emphasizing that sustained support is critical to countering Russian advances. His presence reinforced the urgency of finalizing defense agreements and securing new military aid packages. European officials assured Zelensky of continued backing, reaffirming that Ukraine's sovereignty remains a top priority for the EU. European leaders are grappling with the challenge of financing their ambitious rearmament plans. The EU is considering multiple funding options, including issuing euro bonds, utilizing frozen Russian assets, and redirecting cohesion funds. While some member states favor a collective debt mechanism, others remain cautious about increasing financial burdens. Key defense priorities include acquiring advanced drones, missile defense systems, and modernizing ammunition stockpiles. The debate underscores the complexities of military financing within the EU, as leaders seek a balance between fiscal responsibility and urgent security needs. Despite overwhelming support for Ukraine, divisions remain within the European Union. Hungary continues to oppose increased military aid, arguing that further intervention could escalate the war rather than resolve it. However, the remaining 26 EU members have approved a new €30 billion military assistance package for Ukraine in 2025. European officials insist that supporting Kyiv is essential for maintaining regional stability and preventing further Russian aggression. They also stress that any future peace negotiations must guarantee Ukraine's sovereignty and security. The ongoing debate highlights the political challenges in maintaining a unified EU stance on the conflict. A devastating missile strike by Russian forces has killed at least 4 people and injured 31 others in Kryvyi, the hometown of President Zelensky. The attack targeted a hotel, causing extensive damage to nearby residential and commercial buildings. Emergency services responded swiftly, evacuating survivors and treating the wounded. Ukrainian officials condemned the attack as yet another example of Russia's indiscriminate bombing campaign. The strike has reignited calls for enhanced air defense systems to protect Ukrainian cities. European leaders expressed solidarity with Ukraine, vowing to strengthen military assistance in response to continued Russian aggression. The European Union is actively discussing the deployment of the Sky Shield defense system as a protective measure for Ukraine. The system, designed to defend against aerial threats, would safeguard key infrastructure, nuclear power plants, and major cities. However, the EU has clarified that it will not extend coverage to frontline areas, limiting its role to defensive operations. European officials argue that Sky Shield offers a crucial deterrent against Russian missile strikes. While some EU nations remain cautious about potential escalation, others see it as a necessary step toward ensuring Ukraine's security. Security experts warn that Europe may struggle to counter Russian aggression without strong US backing. Despite EU rearmament efforts, military analysts argue that European forces lack the logistical capabilities to sustain large-scale operations independently. Moscow has repeatedly rejected the idea of EU military involvement in Ukraine, viewing it as a direct provocation. European leaders are working to bolster their defense capabilities, but questions remain about their ability to match Russia's military strength without NATO's full support. The situation underscores the urgent need for strategic planning and defense coordination among EU nations. Stay updated on global security. Want to know more about how these developments will impact the future of global security? Watch our latest in-depth analysis on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed on the latest geopolitical updates.